July 15, 2016. As darkness settles over the historic city of Istanbul, the rhythm of daily life is suddenly and violently interrupted. Without warning, heavily armed tanks roll onto the iconic Bosphorus and Fatih Sultan Mehmed bridges, completely cutting off the arterial links between Europe and Asia. Simultaneously, supersonic F-16 warplanes roar low over the capital city of Ankara, shattering windows and spreading panic as a rogue faction of the Turkish military attempts to violently topple the democratically elected government of President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan.
What began as a quiet summer evening rapidly unravels into an unprecedented, terrifying crucible. Gunfire echoes near state buildings, and explosions rock the parliament. The chaotic night that follows will not just test the resilience of the population, it will become a defining, foundational, and highly volatile moment for the architecture of the modern Turkish state.
To comprehend how such a dramatic event could manifest in a modern NATO member state, we must analyze the chaotic timeline and deep institutional mechanics leading up to the night of July 15th. Calling themselves the Peace at Home Council, the conspirators sought to justify their actions by claiming a defense of secular democracy and human rights. This chapter explores the deep political rifts within the Turkish military and state institutions that allowed this conspiracy to fester.
The plotters quickly seized state television, forcing an anchor to read a statement declaring martial law. However, the coup leaders made a fatal miscalculation. They failed to capture President Erdoğan, who was vacationing in southwestern Turkey. In a stunning display of modern crisis management, Erdoğan used a FaceTime video call broadcasted live on national television to speak to the nation. His message was clear: resist. This powerful call for ordinary citizens to take to the streets, stand in front of tanks, and reclaim their democracy completely turned the tide of the operation. Thousands of unarmed civilians flooded the streets, confronting heavily armed soldiers and overwhelming the coup's momentum. By the time the sun rose on July 16th, the immediate threat had passed, but the failed coup left the country in a profound state of shock and grief. Over 250 people had lost their lives, and more than 2,000 were wounded. In this chapter, we discuss the immediate, aggressive crackdown that followed, the widespread arrests that swept through the nation, and the fundamental, permanent changes to the Turkish political landscape that resulted from that single, bloody night. The Turkish government swiftly blamed the network of Fethullah Gülen, a self-exiled cleric living in the United States, designating his movement as a terrorist organization. What followed was an unprecedented purge. Tens of thousands of military officers, judges, police units, academics, and civil servants were suspended, dismissed, or jailed. The failed coup acted as a massive political catalyst, accelerating a sweeping consolidation of executive power and paving the way for a historic constitutional referendum that fundamentally reshaped Turkey's system of governance. In the decade since 2016, the memory of the failed coup has become absolutely central to Turkey's national identity, political discourse, and foreign policy. July 15th was designated as a national holiday, the Democracy and National Unity Day. We examine how this single event permanently redefined the delicate relationship between the civilian government, the historically powerful military, and the public. For nearly a century, the Turkish military had viewed itself as the ultimate arbiter of the state, having successfully launched multiple coups in the past. But 2016 broke that cycle entirely, subordinating the armed forces under strict civilian oversight. Furthermore, the event profoundly strained Turkey's relations with its Western allies, as Ankara criticized Western nations for what it perceived as a slow and lukewarm condemnation of the coup attempt. The legacy of that night continues to influence Turkey's domestic policies, security doctrines, and its shifting alignment on the global stage. The dramatic events of July 15, 2016 remain a stark, powerful example of political fragility and the unpredictable nature of contemporary geopolitics. It stands as a testament to the raw, history-altering power of a population united against an armed insurrection. As we reflect on this deeply complex chapter of modern history, how do you assess the role of mass public mobilization in defending democratic institutions from military force? Can top-down political stability be truly maintained when institutional trusts are deeply fractured? Let us know your detailed thoughts, political insights, and perspectives in the comments section below.
If you found this comprehensive breakdown of modern history valuable, please hit the like button, share this video with others, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in our next exploration of the forces that shape our world.